Today, I want to talk to you guys about how to be yourself, truly be yourself, and be authentic to yourself in the year 2025. This is the year I think a lot of us need to wake up and start living life on our own terms, for our personal selves, for who we are, what resonates with us. Now, I took some notes here to keep myself on track, so don't mind me if I look at my notes, and there's a few things I want to read as well. But let's talk about that. What does it mean to be yourself, to be authentic to yourself? What does it look like? So I wrote something down here to make sure I word this properly for you guys. Being yourself is all about being authentic to yourself, doing what you like to do, living life on your terms, doing things that you enjoy, regardless of popular opinion. You see, living for yourself isn't necessarily selfish. And here's why. Because when you're living and loving yourself, living for yourself and loving yourself, you're actually bringing the highest value that you can bring to the world. I love using Bob Ross as an example because Bob Ross loved to paint. And as the story goes, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I have read and heard that he didn't accept any payment for his painting show. He just wanted to bless the world with what he loved to do. And what a blessing he was. I mean, everybody knows Bob Ross. And when I was a kid, I loved to watch some of his episodes. It was so entertaining and so cool. You just get into his creative flow. When we live life on our terms, for us, we actually bless the world around us. So by being selfish, you're actually blessing the world with your gifts and your talents. That's what it means in my mind to live on your terms, to truly be yourself, is to do what resonates with you and to be selfish about it, to live life on your terms, doing what you want to do. And when you do that, you in turn bless the world around you because one, you're going to be so passionate about it. Not to mention the fact that whatever you're doing, if you love doing it, your energy is going to be resonating in that love, which that energy permeates everything around you, which is blessing the world around you just because of the emotions that you're feeling. So something else that I wrote that I want to share is it's easy to get caught up in what society expects of us. Or we do things so that we can get acceptance from those around us, instead of doing what we actually want to do because it's something we genuinely enjoy. How many of us can relate to that? I think almost anybody can. How often do we do something because it's what's expected of us? Because it's going to get us the acceptance of those around us. Oh, I want to be successful. Okay, why? Is it for you? And what does success even mean to you? Success can mean something different to everybody. It can mean financially. It can mean relationship-wise. It could be all of that encompassing. It could be, I just saw somebody I knew from high school recently at the UPS store, ran into him. Haven't seen him since high school. Dude hasn't aged a day, which was crazy. And he looked the exact same. He was very kind of like almost goth looking. He has purple hair and stuff. And he's an artist. He's been doing art. He was doing art in high school. I remember we had art classes together. And it's what he's still doing. He's super authentic with himself. And he hasn't aged a day. Maybe the reason he hasn't aged is because he's stayed being authentic to himself, doing what he loves to do. I loved it. It's like, wow, dang. That's cool. He's living life on his terms. And now he sells a lot of his art online. He's getting more and more successful at it. And he's a fantastic artist. And he draws very peculiar art. But I love it. I love it. How many of us are living like that? Living life the way we want our life to be lived. Now, what if you don't know? What would you do? What's authentic for you? What do you really want to do all the time? What is that? What does that look like? I think a lot of us don't know. I know I didn't for a long time. Well, I have a really cool trick to help you figure out the things you would do if you were truly being yourself and authentic with yourself. And this trick goes like this. And I use this trick. In fact, this trick is exactly why I'm sitting here recording this YouTube video right now. Imagine you had $50 billion. I'm being serious. Imagine you had $50 billion in your bank account, cash. $50 billion. You don't have to work anymore. Money's not an issue for you at all anymore. You have so much, it's basically you have infinite money. Money's not an issue. Okay, if money's not an issue and you don't have to work, what are you going to do every day? You wake up, you don't have to work anymore. What are you going to do every day? Now, you might catch yourself saying, boy, I'd go to the beach. I used to have this coworker who wanted to win the lottery so he could just go sit on the beach for the rest of his life. And I'm like, bro, that might be fun for like a month or two, but you're going to get bored. Because we as humans are productive beings. We actually at the core want to be doing things. That's why we came here, is to do stuff, not to sit around. Granted, we might need a period of rest. I know I've needed that. Last summer, I took a few weeks off and I just slept a lot. But once you're rejuvenated, what would you do? If you had so much money, money wasn't an issue, what would you do every day? If you didn't have to work, do anything for money, what would you do? Would you play video games? Would you get really into skateboarding or playing music? Maybe art, like the old classmate I met at the UPS store. Would you keep doing art? Would you draw cartoons or do animation? What would you do? What would you do? Would you play a sport? Would you play hockey, soccer, tennis, football? What do you love? Would you be a gym rat? Would you go to the gym all day, every day because you just love being at the gym working out? What would you do? What would you do? And for you, without needing the acceptance of anyone around you, what would you do? What's authentic to you? How would you spend your time if money wasn't an issue? You didn't have to work. You had no responsibility that way. How would you fill your time up? Now, it can take some time to think about that because sometimes you have to peel back some layers and look at, boy, what would I do? Sometimes it helps to look into your childhood or your teenage years specifically and go, well, what did I like as a teenager? What did I do? What was I drawn towards? Because as a teenager, we're kind of between that adulthood, but not little kids anymore. So you're starting to mature and you're starting to develop things that you really like. Maybe it was sports, or art, like I was saying, or photography. What do you love? What did you do back then? What would you do today? My challenge for you guys is to sit down and think about that. If money wasn't an issue, you had $50 billion, you didn't have to work anymore. What would you do every day? In 2025, I want you guys to stop and think about what you would do if it was your choice, if you got to choose how you want to live life. And I don't mean, oh man, I would just party and goof off and drink and, do irresponsible stuff. What would the creative side of you do? What would the God living within you do? Give that some thought. And as you give that some thought, start entertaining it. Start trying to integrate that, whatever it is for you, into your life, even just a little bit. Even if it's just a little bit. If we take life too serious and we're always just doing responsibility, we're not living life on our terms, giving our gift to the world. So when you're living in your frame, for you, by you, doing what you want, you bless the world with your gifts. Because that's what's you. And you're going to have more energy. You're going to look younger. You're going to be brighter. Your aura is going to be brighter. People are going to be more attracted to you. You're going to be having more fun. Just try to integrate a little bit of whatever it is, those things you would be doing if money wasn't an issue. What's true to you? Start integrating that into your life today. That's my challenge for you guys. And I want to see the world just blow up of people just being so passionate, doing what they love, and blessing everyone around them. Because I'm blessed too. That's why I'm sitting here making these YouTube videos. Because even if I had a $50 billion, which I don't, but if I did, this is what I would do. I want to make YouTube content. I love creating content. I've been editing videos. Okay, I'm turning 39 in a few days. I've been editing videos since I was a mid-teenager, 15, 16 years old. Back when my hard drive was a 30 gig hard drive. And I had Pinnacle Studio, one of the first versions, and I had this old piece of hardware with my old camcorder, and you had to plug it in with RCA plugins into the computer. We were editing skate videos and stuff, and I loved creating the content. I didn't have to work back then. It's just what I wanted to do. So I love making content. So I'm sitting here making this video, and I like making content that I feel is a blessing to others. That's one of the things I like to do. There's some other things, but this is one of the big ones. So that's why this year I've dedicated myself to making consistent content. Pulling back on the business a little bit that I have and focusing more of my time on content. You guys, I hope you have found this video helpful and inspiring. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on future helpful content. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.